Have you ever caught yourself thinking, if I just do this one thing perfectly, I'll finally be happy? But what if it's a lie? और कभी कभी आप कितनी भी कोशिश कर लो, it's never good enough. Well, you are not alone. Perfectionism, a desire to make everything flawless and without any mistakes. We often try to set high standards for ourselves, and when we do not meet that high standards, or when things are not perfect, even if the mistakes are small, we may start to feel stressed, anxious, frustrated, and unhappy. And sometimes it can ruin our lives too. So hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about two things. Firstly, why should we not chase perfectionism? And secondly, some mindset shifts to let go of perfectionism. So let's get into the topic. First of all, let's just understand a little bit about perfectionism. So it's a mindset where we set often unrealistic or high standards for ourselves. Perfectionism is not just about doing your best. It's more like an intense focus on avoiding every mistakes and flaws at all cost. And instead of appreciating the efforts that we have put in, perfectionism makes us feel like we are never good enough. Let's take an example of a student who scored 95% in her exams but still focuses on the 5% that she missed rather than celebrating what she have achieved. So when we let perfectionism guide us, we are no longer working towards our goal in a healthy way. Instead, we are becoming our own harsher critics to the point where it stops us from moving forward in life. Listen, wanting to do well is a positive trait, but there is a fine line between striving for excellence and falling into the trap of perfectionism, which can totally impact our mental well-being, relationships, or even success in our life. So why should we not chase perfectionism? As we all know that perfectionism can lead to high level of stress and anxiety. Imagine always feeling like you have to be flawless. That's a lot of pressure, right? Even a small mistake feels magnified or huge. Then rather than feeling motivated, we feel tense, anxious, and always worried about everything that we do. And over the time, this stress does not just impact our mood, but it can lead to real mental health issues like burnout and depression. It can also create a fear of failing that keeps us stuck where we are, because when we fear failing so much, we become hesitant to try new things. So when we hold ourselves back, perfectionism prevents us from learning and growing, which ironically is how we improve. And last but not the least, perfectionism can also strengthen relationships. Yes, you heard me right. When we are perfectionist, we might expect the same unrealistic standards from others as we do from ourselves. Imagine someone expecting their friends to be available 24/7 or expecting their family members to react perfectly every time. It sounds so exhausting for us and even for those around us. And in the long run, these expectations can lead to disappointment, frustration, or even loneliness. Now the question is, if perfectionism affects us so negatively, how do we start letting it go? So here are some mindset shifts to let go of perfectionism. Number one is, focus on progress over perfectionism. Many of us don't think about this, but we should embrace the idea that every step we take brings us closer to our goals, even if it's not perfect. Instead of saying like, I'll do this perfectly, try saying, I'll give my best effort and learn from it. Let's say you're working on an art project. Rather than aiming to make it flawless, focus on experimenting and improving it. This way, you can celebrate the journey and not just the end result. So, do I apply the same thing in my life? Yes, now I do. Because focusing on the progress is much more important than the end results. Another effective shift is to embrace good enough. I know this sounds strange, especially when we are used to the idea that good enough is not acceptable. But sometimes done is better than perfect. For example, if you are studying for an exam, instead of obsessing over every small detail in your notes, try understanding the big picture. Done does not mean settling. It means accepting that you have given it your best with the time and resources you had. So when we aim for good enough, we allow ourselves to grow rather than getting stuck in endless self-criticism. Number 3 is self-compassion. Practicing self-compassion is incredibly powerful. So when you make a mistake, instead of pushing yourself, try to see them as a part of your learning. Because if we view each failure as a chance to improve, we can start becoming more kinder to ourselves. So self-compassion allows us to be less judgmental and more forgiving, which makes us more resilient. After all, we all make mistakes, and embracing our imperfection doesn't make us weak, it makes us human. Lastly, let's remind ourselves that growth and excellence are not about being flawless. Even many of the most successful people are not perfect. They are adaptable. They are willing to try, fail, and try again. So the next time when you feel the urge to be perfect, take a step back and remember that imperfection is natural, and accepting it is what will actually help you to achieve your goals in the long run. So at the end of this video, I just want to say that perfectionism is not helping us, it's holding us back. So when we shift our mindset, we can lead happier and more fulfilling lives. And remember that life is a journey and every imperfect step counts. Thanks for watching this video, and if this message resonates with you, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more such valuable content. Also drop your reviews in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep improving.